Alright, so we're back here. Gonna be playing some Wingspan. And today I was gonna try something different, so before I just jump into it, one thing I never realized, you could play the Asia Duet mode with Nectar. So I have never tried that, so we're gonna try that today. Might get a few things wrong, but we'll see how it goes. I'm assuming everything's just the same, so we have the board here, and we have the spent nectar collection for the Automa, so we're going to be playing on normal difficulty for the first time. And then we have the end of round adjust spent nectar, so we're going to do this twice at the end of each round with the Automa cards to adjust this spent nectar. And we're using the nectar board from Oceania, and I've also mixed in the Oceania cards, both the bird cards and the bonus cards. And then we have an extra stack of cards because I don't think we're gonna go through the whole stack, so we'll see. So I think I'm ready here. Gonna roll the feeder to start. Okay, so that's what the feeder looks like. We have fish, 3 worms, 2 wheat, and a cherry. Okay. Put some birds out in the tray, see what we got. Alright, we have Carolina Wren. Okay, so when played ability, excuse me, draw 2 cards. Great Indian Bustard, so another when played ability. This is from the Asia expansion, so score 1 of your bonus cards now. By cashing 1 wheat from the supply on this bird for each point. Also score it normally at the game end. And then we have Plumbus Red Start. Alright, that's a 4-point bird for 1 food from the Asia expansion. So draw 1 card from the deck and add it to your hand. All other players draw a card from the deck and add it to their hand if the bird has a worm or wheat in its food cost. So I guess the way that would work against the Automa, we have this. Okay, so you can't see that. Let me change that. Let me see if I can change this real quick. Okay, I have just enough space. It looks like we have a new follower to Fire Trophy, so thanks for the follow. As I'm changing this right now. Almost done. Okay, so hopefully you can kind of see everything a little better. Okay, so this is the card I wanted to show you. So this is the Automa's Horde card that we're going to be playing with. And we have, for each item Automa is to gain or lose in exchange, she gains or returns Horde tokens. So Horde tokens are just going to be food. You can kind of use anything to score it. So let's see. The Plumbus Red Start was the card in question. So draw a card from the deck and add it to your hand. All other players draw a card. So if she gets a card, she'll get 2 tokens. And I guess it has, so you don't physically draw the card, you just give them the 2 tokens. Cool. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to get started. Actually, before I start, let's talk about the end of round goals first. So for the duet mode, we got in any one horizontal row. So if you have a duet token in this horizontal row, it would be 1, and then so on. So it's whoever has the most. And then we have duet tokens in the forest, so it's going to be the green territory up here for round 2. And then we got duet tokens on nest types, so that's going to be these nest types that correspond to the bird that you played. then for round 4, we have Duet tokens in the grasslands. So that's going to be just the yellow. And I think that's everything. Let's draw 5 cards here. So 5 bird cards. Alright, we got 5. Let's take a look. So we have Chipping Sparrow. That's a really good forest bird. So when activated, lay an egg on any bird. And then we have Buick's Wren, a migratory bird. So that's going to move from habitat to habitat. Dig Sissel. So when activated, tuck a card from your hand behind this bird. If you do, you may also lay an egg on this bird. So tuck and lay bird. Costs 3 food for 1 point though, or 4 points. And then we have Magpie Lark. So this is an Oceania bird with a game end ability to discard 2 eggs from your forest. If you do, play a bird in your grasslands as at its normal food cost. Ignore the egg cost. And if it has a when played or game end power, you may use it. Alright, we have White-breasted Wood Swallow. When played ability, lay an egg on each bird in your grasslands, including this one. Alright. So those are the 5 birds. Definitely keeping Chipping Sparrow. I like that. That's a great starting bird. It's only a point, but it also only costs 1 food. And it gives you a nice brown power in the forest to get an egg. So let's get 2 bonus cards here. Let's see what we got. Okay, so we have 2 Asia bonus cards. So we have Forest Manager, which is consecutive birds in the forest with ascending or descending scores. So 3 birds for 3 points, 4 for 5, and 5 for 8. Then we have Winter Feeder. So this is food remaining in your supply at the end of the game. So we really don't have the best bonus cards to choose from. I'm kind of thinking, I mean, we could do Forest Ranger, being that we're starting with a 1-point bird. Yeah, we don't have a good wetland option. We might play Buick's Wren. I don't know though. That doesn't seem like the best move. There's also the tray. So in the tray we got these 3 birds. So we have Plumbus Redstart, Carolina Wren, and Great Indian Bustard. I think we just go with Winter Feeder here. It is like less points. We could get just the 7, but I've never really had luck maxing out Forest Ranger, so I'm gonna keep Winter Feeder as my bonus card. And we'll discard the Forest Ranger. Okay, now we have to choose birds to keep. So we're definitely keeping Chipping Sparrow. This is the Nectar board too, from the Oceania expansion. So this is a little different. Instead of having to play 2 birds to draw 2 cards, you just draw, or you play 1, and then you can draw 2 cards in the wetlands. And it goes for the same in the forest, so it's like just a lot easier to get more food. Just better access. You play 1 bird instead of the 2. So I think we just keep Chipping Sparrow. I mean, I kind of want Buick's Wren just for... I don't know. So we can't really keep doubles. We do start with the Nectar though, which is one nice thing about the Oceania expansion. So yeah, we'll keep Chipping Sparrow. And I think we're just gonna discard. Let's see, if we kept Buick's Wren, also, then we could get 3 food, so we would take worm, wheat. You can't keep 2 of the same is the issue. So I think we just discard this. And we take cherry wheat, worm, and we'll keep a fish. Why not, right? Just a random fish. Okay, so now we got our food, our starting food. These 4 bird cards are going to get discarded. That's why we chose 4 food, and you always start with the nectar. Alright, so we have winter feeder, chipping sparrow. Alright, turn 1. I could just draw that plumbous red start to have a wetland bird. That kind of seems like a good play. So we'll draw a card. We get 1 card. We'll take plumbous red start. We could spend a nectar here to get a 2nd card. That would actually give us a spent nectar in the wetland. So I think I am going to do that, since we're not really hurting for food here. So let's spend a nectar to draw a 2nd card. And we'll take 1 right off the top of the deck. Or do we want that Carolina written? I don't know. Let's take 1 off the top. Alright, we got the violet cuckoo. So this is a Asia bird with a pink power. So when another player takes the lay eggs action, lay an egg on another bird with a wingspan less than 30 centimeters, you may go 2 over its egg limit while using this power. So that's kind of cool. Alright, that was our first action. So let's see what the Automata is doing over here. Oh, I should probably shuffle these. So we have added in, I'll just quickly show you. We have these are the Automata cards from the Asia expansion. And we have the Automation Alliance, which is, it says add this card when using the Duet map. And then we also have the Raw Automata card, which says use for Oceania. So we're using those 2. No Audubon Society card. We'll shuffle these. I guess we have to refill that tray too, since we took a card. And we have Superb Lyrebird comes out. So that's a cool brown power for the forest. So copy a brown power on 1 bird in the forest of the player to your right, which is nice. Since we're playing solo, we would copy a brown power from the tray, and that would change all game, which makes that a pretty interesting bird. So now that this is shuffled, let's flip 1. Oh, and again, we forgot to draw a bonus card. So we can't use this. So we'll discard this. We can't use this. Discard this. We can't use this. I don't think I shuffled these bonus cards good enough. We're going to keep Winter Feeder. But I think you're supposed to draw a bonus card for the Automata first. Not 100% sure on that. So I'm just going to shuffle these up a little bit, because it seemed like we got 3 or 4 Oceania cards in a row. So we'll shuffle these. We're going to just try to get one with a percentage for the Automata to keep. There's also the... Okay, again, we get Forest Population Monitor. Okay, we'll take Anatomist. So this is the first one with a percentage that we're going to get. So the Automata is going to be taking birds with body parts in their names. And yeah, this is the updated one from Asia. So none of the birds in the tray have body parts in their names, I don't think. So we have Carolina Wren, Great Indian Bustard, and Superb Lyrebird. So yeah, no body parts there. So they'll get a face down card for 4 points. And then we can... Oh, they're supposed to discard the cards from the tray as well. Then we'll refill, and they place a Duet token. So, this Duet token is going to be... I think I have these backwards. Yeah, we'll put it like this. This is a little easier for me. This is how I'm used to it. Starting down here, we're looking for a beak pointing left or right in the forest. So that's going to be all the way up here. The first duet token placed by the Automa. Alright, we'll refill the tray. We got Gould's Finch, game end ability, Barred Owl, so predatory power, and the common Merganser, so another predatory power in the wetlands. Alright, so I think we're going to start playing some birds here to get some duet tokens on the map. And we want to get them in different horizontal rows for round 1. So let's start with the chipping sparrow. We'll play a bird here. And we're going to put that in the forest. Now we can pay with a worm or a wheat. Let's use the wheat since none of the other birds have wheat in the food cost. And then we place a duet token. So this has to go in the forest. And we paid with a wheat. So the options would be less than 50 centimeters here on the goal board, since the chipping sparrow is less than 50. Chipping sparrow has a bowl nest, so we could go here, and then we paid with a wheat, so we could go here, and then here's another bowl nest. So 1, 2, 3, 4 options. And yeah, so this is really just going to help with all 3 of these round goals if we put it on a nest type. So I think the move right here is going to be like that. Just kind of thinking ahead, looking at my hand here, we have the Plumbus Redstart and Violet Cuckoo. If I end up playing this in the forest and spend that cherry, we could start to get a contiguous group. We'll also be working towards the end of round goal, so duet tokens in the forest. So all good stuff so far. Alright, that was our first duet token. Second action, round 1, we played a bird. Let's flip again for the Automa. They're going to lay an egg. Okay. So, let's see, maybe we drop this Violet Cuckoo first. I was thinking Plumbus Redstart, but if we put this Violet Cuckoo down, we could take food then, get an egg. Oh, we can't. Oh, I'm not even using the right dice here. Gotta get the right dice. Maybe I should start over. I don't think I took any food yet, and neither did the Automa, so we're just gonna re-roll it. Okay, let's re-roll this feeder. So now we have the right dice. Okay, so we have 2 rats, a worm, cherry, nectar. Yeah, so instead of playing a bird down here for the 1 cherry, I think I'm gonna take food. Alright, so we're taking food. We get 2 food. Let's take the 2 nectar. And then we'll activate the chipping sparrow's ability to lay an egg. And it says lay an egg on any bird, but we only have the chipping sparrow right now. So then we'll flip for the Automa's 3rd action. And they're gonna take food. So I wonder, like... Oh, okay, so... They do take food. Like, they do take nectar. I'm not sure how that works, if anyone knows. So the first one available here is going to be a worm. So they're going to remove that worm and then activate all pink powers. So this would have been nice had we had the Violet Cuckoo down. But we will get that down soon enough. I think we play it right now, actually. So we're going to play Violet Cuckoo in the Forest. And we're out here in this second column now, so this is going to cost 1 egg. And we'll take the egg from the Chipping Sparrow. Let's just spend 2 nectar that we got here. So we add up that spent nectar in the forest. And then we'll place this Duet token. And the one question I would have is, can you place a Duet token on a cherry if you use the nectar? So I wonder if that is in the rulebook there, or if anyone knows. Maybe in that case we use 1 nectar. I'm just gonna assume that we can't place it. Nectar's wild though, so why would it not? Let's use 1 nectar and 1 cherry. Then we can place this Duet token here on this cherry and give ourselves a started contiguous group. Okay, and we already paid the egg, placed our Duet token. That's our 4th action. So let's flip for the Automa here. We got the Automation Alliance card, so they're going to discard all 3 cards from the tray, get a face down card, and place a Duet token. So 4 points for them. And they're going to put this Duet token. Let's see, it's going to start down here, working our way up, over and up. Looking for a nest type in the forest. So first nest type in the forest is going to be here. So that's going to give them 2 in a contiguous group already. Alright, let's refill the tray, see what comes out. We have Silver Eye. Okay, this could be good. So we have the Silver Eye. We've got the Gray Warbler, which is also good. And the Southern Cassowary. So, Silver Eye is a when activated, all players gain a nectar from the supply. I like that. Although I don't like giving nectar to the Automa. They would get 2 cash tokens each time we activate that. Gray Warbler, when played, play another bird in your forest, pay its normal cost with a 1 egg discount. And then Southern Cassowary, wow, this is a mouthful. When played, discard a bird in your forest and put this bird in its place. Do not pay an egg cost. If you do, lay 4 eggs on this bird and gain 2 cherries from the supply. Wow. Yeah. I don't know, I kind of like that Silver Eye. Hopefully these birds stick around for a minute. Let's take a look at the board. What do I want to do? Action 5 here. Get this Plumbus Red start down. Maybe spend a nectar, and then we can draw some cards. So play another bird. This one's gonna go in the wetlands down here, so no egg cost, just 1 worm or 1 cherry it costs with that slash symbol there. So we're gonna spend, well, the Silver Eye costs a nectar, so let's use a worm. I kind of have my eye on that Silver Eye, so yeah. So we're gonna place a Duet token here in the wetlands. Now, looking at this goal board, there is an option for us to pick up that Silver Eye now with this beak pointing left position, or right. The Plumbus Red start on the board has a beak that's pointing right. So if we put this here, it has a bonus ability to draw a card. So I think I am gonna do that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that, and we'll pick up that Silver Eye. Okay, so we draw a Silver Eye from the tray. We played a bird. We paid the food cost. No egg cost. Put the Duet token down. Let's refill. We got the Spotless Crake coming out. Game end ability, so lay an egg on each bird in your wetlands, including this one. Alright, flip one. Lay an egg for the Automa. That's pretty easy. So, food types here, we got nectar and fish, and then the silver eye costs nectar worm. So, let's take food one more time. And we're out here, so we get 2 food, we can discard a card for a 3rd. And looking at the feeder here, it's re-rollable, so we're just gonna re-roll. And then we'll take 2 nectar. Now, the only thing about nectar is if you don't use it at the end of before the end of the round, you lose it. Then we can skip this pink power and activate our chipping sparrow to lay an egg on any bird. So we can put this on our Plumbus red start. And that's the end of our 5th, 6th action. We'll flip for the Automa. They're going to take food again. So starting with rats, then fish, then cherries, then worm/wheat. So that's going to come out first before the wheat, because I believe that's how that works. We'll take the wheat. If it was wheat first, then they would take those nectar out. So the worm wheat comes out. And we have 3 nectar to spend here with 2 turns left. So I'm assuming, I mean, if we play this silver eye here, we won't. Will we be able to spend that nectar somehow? Maybe if we reset the tray, draw cards. Not sure. Well, with 2 actions left, let's play the silver eye. Into the grassland. So this is our first grassland bird, and we're going to pay 2 nectar. So spent nectar goes here. And then we'll place this first duet token in the grasslands. Now, it would be really nice to know about the nectar rule. So it is less than 50 centimeters. We could go there. I'm kind of thinking nest type though. If we can use any kind of food, since we spent nectar, we could put it here. See, there's no nectar on this duet board, so that's why I'm not sure. Let's put this duet token here. So this is another less than 50 centimeter token or spot, which gives us a bonus of 1 egg. So we'll take an egg and we can lay that on the silver eye itself. We'll flip another card for the Automa. They're going to take food again. And then we're going to activate pink power. So we got this violet cuckoo out, which is good. But being that these 2 are the same, first we got to re-roll. Oh, just chucking dice over here. All right, looking at this card. So starting with rats, there is 1 rat, so we'll remove that first. And then we're going to activate our pink powers, as you can see here. So we have the violet cuckoo. So this says when another player takes the lay eggs action, lay an egg on another bird with the wingspan less than 30 centimeters. So we get another egg on silver eye. And all 3 of these birds are less than 30 centimeters. So we could, hopefully that triggers a couple more times throughout the game. It also says you may go 2 over the egg limit while using this power, which is really nice. Okay, 1 action left. I kind of want to spend this nectar so that I don't waste it. And we need cards anyway. So let's take cards. And what we'll do here, if you look at the board, so when you draw cards, you get 2 cards, but it says before you draw cards, you may spend any food type to reset the tray. So we'll spend our nectar. since we're going to lose it in the wetlands, to reset the tray first. Okay, we're resetting the tray. Now we have little ringed plover. You can kind of zoom in on the tray here. So discard a card from your hand if you do lay an egg on this bird. Many colored fruit dove. All players gain a cherry from the supply. You gain 1 additional cherry from the supply. So that could be good for us. We do have winter feeder, and we need 7 or more food at the end of the game. Then we have the Australasian pipit. Wow. Game end ability to tuck a card from the deck behind each bird in your grasslands, including this one. So we can draw 2 now. I think I'm going to scoop this. And then what I'll do is take 1 from the deck. And we got another pink power in the Australian Owlet Night Jar. So this is a 2-point bird, costs 1 food, so it's a worm or a rat. And then it's a once between turns pink power, so when another player takes the gain food action, gain a worm from the bird feeder if there is one at the end of their turn. So I would assume, yeah, we would get a worm if there's one in the feeder. Okay, and that can go in any habitat. Then we have the many colored fruit dove we picked up, which is going to be good for winter feeder, I think. So let's refill, or no. We drew 2 cards. Okay, we'll activate this red start. So we draw 1 from the deck and add it to our hand. Okay, and we got the red-winged parrot. So this is kind of a cool bird from the Asia expansion. It says give a nectar from your supply to another player if you do lay 2 eggs on this bird or gain 2 food from the bird feeder. So that's also cool. Goes in all 3 habitats. 6 points for a nectar, cherry, and wheat. So we'll keep that. And then it says all other players draw a card from the deck and add it to their hand if the bird has a worm or wheat in its food cost. So this is one of those things where I don't really know how that works. I would assume that, like, do we check the card or do we just give the Automa some cash tokens? I'm just going to give them the cash tokens, seems easier. And I'm definitely going to need more nectar. So we'll give the Automa 2 cash tokens here, which is going to equate to like half a point right now. And I can already see I'm going to run out of nectar, so I'm just getting that. Put that to the side for now. So that's going to be the end of the turn. That was our last action, round 1. We spent that nectar, so we're not going to lose it. And then we'll flip 1 more for the Automa. So they're going to discard. Forgot to refill this, but this is going to get discarded anyway. So we're going to discard these 3. Give them a face down card for 4 points. Refill the tray. Maybe we'll wait because it's the end of the round. But we're going to start up here looking for a beak pointing left or right in the wetlands. So that's going to be right here is where that Duet token is going to go for the Automa. Alright, so that's the end of round 1. We're going to adjust the spent nectar. I'm not going to put 3 cards out just to discard them and reset the tray. So the way this was going to work, we're going to take the rest of these cards. We'll flip 2 to adjust the spent nectar. Now, I think they go this way. This is a good question. Not sure, but what's going to happen here is nothing. They're going to lose a spent nectar here and lose a spent nectar here. So 1 in the grasslands, 1 in the wetlands. And then we'll do that 1 more time. We do this twice at the end of each round. And this is the Oceania expansion raw Toma card. So they're going to lose 1 in the forest, gain 1 in the grasslands, and gain 1 back in the wetlands. So yeah, a little tedious, but we'll do it anyway. So that's how the nectar gets adjusted for the Automa. Now we're going to take this round 1 card out. Flip this round tracker over to round 2. And refill the tray. I'll just shuffle these one more time. Let's see how we're doing on time here. So 30 minutes for one round. Okay. Yeah, we'll get the cubes back. I think that's it. Move on to round 2 here. We got Duet tokens in the forest. So doing good so far. Right now we're tied with the Automa. Let's put this tray, fill this up. So we have stubble quail, we've got Count Raggy's bird of paradise, and then we have the American goldfinch. Nice. That stubble quail could be good if we get behind on spent nectar. I don't really have a game plan anymore. We're just winging it. So first action. Kind of need food. Can't play birds. Let's take food from the bird feeder. Oh, we need to score this round goal. So let's see. In any one horizontal row, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 horizontal rows for me, and then just 2 for the Automa. So we get the 2 points there, and they lose. So that's helpful. All right, first action here. We're gonna do. I guess we could lay eggs. The thing is, we get 1 nectar and give them points, or do we just get 2 food? Maybe discard a card. I kind of like that owlet nightjar, and the red-winged parakeet, and the many-colored fruit dove. So I think we're not really hurting for eggs right now, so let's just take 2 food. We'll get both of these nectar out of the feeder. And then we'll activate our chipping sparrow, which is just to lay an egg on any bird. So we'll put that on the chipping sparrow. Flip first card for the Automa. They're going to lay 2 eggs. Nice. Just breezing through here. Okay, round 2, action 2. We got some food now. We could play this. We still can't play this parrot because we don't have a wheat. This parrot would have been much better behind the silver eye, now that I'm thinking about it, because we would gain the nectar, then be able to give it to another player to lay the 2 eggs. Let's put this many-colored fruit dove down in the forest. We'll spend 1 egg, take it from silver eye here, and yeah, this is just gonna cost 1 food. So 1 cherry. We're gonna spend a nectar in the forest. That puts us at 2 in each habitat, which isn't bad so far. Now we'll place our Duet token. So this is where we're gonna have a little trouble. I kind of want to look that rule up. I don't really have the. Alright, so I have the Asia Automa rules here. Let's see if it says anything at all about nectar. Yeah, okay, so there's something in the back here about your turn. This is for the Automa's Horde, but navigate the Duet map. So maybe it's just in the regular. And I think this is more or less about flock mode. Duet mode here is 2 players, okay. Yeah, I'm not going to spend any more time looking for this. I'm just going to ignore the nectar. So this is my first time playing with the nectar and the Duet board. So yeah, I'm just going to go with the many-colored fruit dove here has a platform nest, so I'll put that. Because ideally, if we can use nectar for any food, then I would like to put this here and just gain another food. I mean, if nectar's wild, then why would you not be able to do that, right? So let's do that. And then someone can just tell me if it's wrong in the comments. Alright. So we're gonna, those were 2 fish, so we're gonna re-roll. And we'll pick up another nectar. Alright, trying to keep this moving. The Automa is going to take food, so it's worm, wheat, then worms. So there are 2 worms, we're going to take those out. And again, we have activate pink powers. So less than 30 centimeters, we can go 2 over the limit. Let's just put this on the silver eye. We're not over the limit yet. The many-colored fruit dove has a 30, so it has to be less than 30. Alright, and then it's back to me. So we actually made out pretty good on that turn. Let's put the Owlet Nightjar in the grasslands. Or maybe... yeah, let's put that in the wetlands. So this Owlet Nightjar can go in all 3 habitats. We're going to play it in the wetlands here. And it costs a worm or a rat, so we'll pay the egg and a nectar. And we'll put the nectar in the spent nectar for the wetlands. Goes up to 3. And then, yeah, so we can put this Duet token here in the wetlands. Now, we spent a nectar again. It does have a cavity nest. I would like to go right here, I think, for the round 3 goal, and maybe connect these by the end of the game. We'll see. Okay. Let's flip another one for Automa here. 2 eggs. Okay, next action, we're going to take food. So, we got this forest pretty built out here. We're going to still only get 2 food. So, let's take 1 nectar first. And now that there's 1, we can re-roll. Wow, look at that. No more nectar. Okay, so we know we need wheat. Let's take a wheat for our second option. And then it says all players gain a cherry from the supply. You gain an additional cherry from the supply. So we're going to get 2 cherries. And I forgot to grab the wheat. And then we'll activate the chipping sparrow to lay an egg on any bird. So we'll put that there. And that's our turn, and we forgot to give the Automa a cash token for getting a cherry. Bam. Done. Okay, let's flip. We're gonna lay 2 eggs. These are quick turns, I like it. Alright, now we have this red-winged parrot, so I could play this in the forest. But I think it's gonna go better down here in the grassland, so let's play a bird. It's going to cost an egg. Again, we'll take that off the fruit dove. Put it in the grasslands. Now, the food cost for this bird specifically states nectar. So we're going to spend 1 nectar in the grasslands where we played it. And then we'll spend the cherry and wheat. Now, we're going to place a Duet token in the grasslands here. So let's put this... We spent a wheat. We could get another egg, which is nice. Do that. And we'll just put it on the night jar. Okay. Let's flip. 2 more eggs. Okay, 2 actions left, round 2. We need cards. We have no bird cards. We can kind of see what's going on up here in the tray. We still have the stubble quail. We got Count Raggy's bird of paradise, and we have the American goldfinch. So, yeah. I kind of like both the stubble quail and Count Raggy's. I mean, Count Raggy's is a 7-point bird. We know we can get them cherries from the bird feeder. Or not from the feeder, but from the supply. So let's draw 2 cards. And we could use this stubble quail later in the game to get rid of some nectar, some extra nectar. So we drew 2 cards. We could spend an egg or a nectar. Sorry, I'm going to go back to the board here. We could spend an egg or a nectar to get another card. And I think we have no trouble with eggs right now, so we should do that. Let's spend the nectar instead of the egg, though. So we'll spend another nectar in the wetlands to draw a 3rd card. And we'll just take one off the top of the deck. And we have the Australian Reed Warbler. So this is play another bird in your wetlands, pay its normal cost, 1 egg discount. Alright, moving down. We draw 1 more from the deck and add it to our hand. Alright, we have Rainbow Lorikeet. Discard a nectar to the spent nectar space in your forest. If you do, gain 2 food from the bird feeder. Wow, I could really see this getting pretty confusing, but also being like a nice engine in the forest. So, we have the Rainbow Lorikeet and the Count Raggy's Bird of Paradise. We're going to be getting so many cherries. It's going to allow us to discard... I kind of want to discard nectar here to build up the spent nectar for the stubble quail. And then if we play both of these, I mean, this is only a 1-point bird. You're spending 2 eggs at this point out in the forest, but I like that. You're just discarding a nectar. We're going to have so much spent nectar. It is hard to compete with the Automa for the spent nectar, I think. Okay, so it says all other players draw a card. We're just going to give the Automa the 2 cash tokens. Just assume they drew 1, and then we'll refill the tray. So in the tray we have the Indian Vulture, so costs no food. Game end ability to copy a bonus card of the player on your right. Then we have Wedge-tailed Eagle, which is another predator bird, 7 points. And goes in all 3 habitats. Alright, let's flip another Automa card. They're going to discard the cards that just came out. They're going to get a face down card for 4 points, and they're going to place a Duet token. So the Duet token is going to go, let's see, starting top left, looking for nest type in the wetlands. So right here. Okay, that doesn't quite break up the contiguous group here if we're trying to connect this, so that's good. Refilling the tray, We got black-billed magpie. We have Mississippi kite. And the white-bellied sea eagle. Alright, we could take food. We have this cherry and fish. It is our last action, though. It's kind of why I wanted this silver eye in front of this parrot. We might just have to suck it up and lose a nectar here. Or maybe we take food and we just don't worry about taking nectar. We would take like a worm and then just re-roll it. I think that's a better play. So let's do that. We can also discard a card for a third food, which is helpful. We have this winter feeder that says food remaining in your supply at the end of the game. So 7 or more food for 7 points. So we want to make sure we hit that. Let's take this worm. So we get 2. And then we'll re-roll the feeder since these are all the same. We'll see what comes up. Okay, we got 2 worms, a rat, and then 2 nectar wheat. So for 1 more food, I guess, take the wheat. And then we're going to get all players gain a cherry from the supply. You gain an additional cherry, so we'll get 2 cherries. Give the Automa a cash token. Then we'll lay an egg. Okay, last action, round 2. Let's flip. They're playing birds. Alright, so the way this works, we're looking at Anatomist is the bonus card. So it's going to be birds with body parts in their names. Now, these birds, we have black-billed magpie, so billed, bellied. Those 2 are going to qualify for Anatomist, and I think we take the 7-point card face up for the Automa, and then we discard the magpie. Now they're going to place a Duet token on the goal board, and this is going to go... We're going to start in this top left corner. Look for a beak pointing left or right in the wetlands, and being that there's none left, they don't place this Duet token, so that's helpful. There's no legal spots. Okay, that's going to wrap up round 2. So we still have to do the spent nectar adjust thing, so we'll do that. And it looks like here they're going to lose 1 in the forest, gain 1 in the wetlands, and then gain 1 in the grasslands as well. So we'll do that one more time. Then they're going to gain 1, lose 1 here. So we'll just take 1 like that, and that's the spent nectar adjusted. So we'll remove the round 2 card here. Oh, I'm not even looking at the Automa. Okay, sorry. So things acting up here. So we'll remove the round 2 card. Shuffle the deck up a little bit. Flip the round tracker to round 3. And then we need to score the end of round goal, since I forgot last time. End of round goal was Duet tokens in the forest, so they still only have 2. It's kind of hard to see, but this wetlands space here goes up into the wetlands. So this is 2 in the forest, and we have 3, so we win the end of round goal. So we'll put us up here for 3, and then Automa is going to get 0 again. Now the next end of round goal is going to be Duet tokens on nest types. So we'll discard the rest of the tray, refill it, and start round 3. Okay, and for time, it looks like an hour. I'm an hour in, so getting a little better with this Duet placement. I mean, this version of the game's growing on me for sure. When you play with other birds, I had no idea you could play this with nectar, but I do like it. We would lose any of our nectar here if we had it at the end of the round, but this is all regular food, so we keep it. And that's good. Now we have a lot of food we could play birds with. And I think we're just going to do that. Turn 1, we're going to play Count Raggy's Bird of Paradise. So this is 7 points. Put this out here in the forest. So this is going to cost 2 eggs now. It's going to cost 2 cherries and a worm. So we'll spend them 2 cherries and the worm, and then we take 2 eggs. So just drop these. Yep. And then placing this Duet token. So we might be running out of spaces here. We have Bolt Nest over here. And less than 50. So Count Raggy's is not less than 50. So we're going to go on this Bolt Nest here. And that's the best we can do. Alright, flipping the first turn for the Automa. They're going to lay 2 eggs. Alright. Second action. Look at this forest engine we have going. It's good, but is it that good? I mean, we're getting eggs from it. I would really like to get a bunch of nectar this round, play Stubble Quail, and use the nectar from the Stubble Quail's when played ability. So it's discard up to 6 food, lay an egg on this bird for each food discarded. So we can kind of do that like right now. We'll start here. We're going to take food. Now we're out here in this 4th or 5th column, so we're going to get 3 food. We'll start by taking 1 nectar. One rat. That's 2. So we get 1 more. Let's re-roll the feeder. Wow, no nectar. So 3 rats, worm, wheat, and worm. Unfortunate. Let's take a worm. That was our 3rd option. Now, we're going to activate this Count Raggy's Bird of Paradise for the first time. And it says, when activated, choose 1 other player. You both gain a cherry from the supply. So we'll get a cherry. Give the Automa their cash. And then we'll activate the Fruit Dove, which is going to give us 2 cherries. And the Automa another cash. So you can kind of see how Winter Feeder should be no issue for us here. And then we're going to activate this Chipping Sparrow to lay an egg on any bird. And that's the end of our 2nd turn. So we'll flip for the Automa. They're going to take food out of the bird feeder. Looks like rats would be the first option. So these 3 rats will come out, making the feeder re-rollable, which is good news for us. Then we're going to activate some pink power. So we'll get an egg. And we can put that on any of these birds that are less than 30. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 options. And we can go 2 over the egg limit. And then we also have another pink power here in the Australian Owlet Nightjar. So gain a worm from the bird feeder if there is one. So we're going to do that. We'll take the worm. So these pink powers, you can kind of see how they help out against the Automa. Feeder needs to be re-rolled. Okay, this time we got some nectar, so we're going to take food again. I know this looks crazy, but we're just going to go ahead and take 3 nectar. Now look at this food just piling up. Take our 3 cherries, give the Automa there 2 cherries. Then we'll activate the chipping sparrow to lay another egg. Now let's put it on this red-winged parrot this time. And then we'll flip again for the Automa. And look at that. We're going to activate our pink powers again. So this is really working out. It's rare that it does, but yeah, they're going to remove... Let's see. Worms are first. So we're going to take that worm, and then we'll activate our pink powers. So since this is re-rollable, we can re-roll. And take a worm. And that would be the Owlet Nightjar's pink power. Look at all this food. And then we also lay an egg on a bird with a wingspan less than 30. So we'll put this on the silver eye. So you can kind of see we haven't had to lay eggs all game because of the chipping sparrow. And then we're just getting mass amounts of food for winter feeder. And we're going to play the stubble quail, which allows us to discard 6 food. So I kind of wanted to make sure I have 6 nectar for that. But I don't think it would be a big deal to discard 3 food at this point. So we can play this stubble quail. We'll get 6 eggs from it. And then maybe we draw some cards and look for some other birds. Sounds like a plan to me. So, I mean, if we really want to compete for that spent nectar in the grasslands, though, we should just take those 2 that are in there. So I think I'm just going to keep taking food. This is a good forest action here. So let's just take these 2 food. And then we get a 3rd. We could discard a card for a 4th, which kind of makes sense at this point. Maybe the spent nectar lorikeet with discard for a 4th. So what did we take so far? Just the 2 nectar. So we'll get 2 more food since we're discarding a card. Let's take a fish. I did not take the 2 nectar yet, right? And then we get 1 more. So we're going to re-roll and hopefully get a nectar here. So we have full control over this feeder. And yeah, we'll take that 6th nectar. We'll activate these 2, which is going to give us 3 cherries. And then the Automa is going to get 1. So someone can tell me if I'm messing this up here, but the Automa is going to get 2 actually. So we'll go back to the chipping sparrow and lay an egg on any bird. So we'll put 1 on the parrot here. Maybe the parrot is not the move. I don't know why I did that, but we can take it off when we play the stubble quail. Now I've never had this much food in this game, so this is kind of a crazy forest engine. That was our 4th action. Let's flip a card for the Automa. They're going to discard the tray. Get a face down card. And then place a Duet token. And then we'll refill. So this Duet token, let's see. We're going to be starting in the bottom left looking for a nest type in the wetlands. So starting in the bottom left, looking for a nest type in the wetlands is going to be right here. Cool. Alright, back to me. Let's refill the tray first. So we have black-shouldered kite. We have Asian emerald dove, and then malleefowl. Okay, so we don't have a lot of enclosure nest birds, so that game end ability is kind of out. We're going to drop the stubble quail. So this is going to be a grassland only bird. So we'll put that here. It's going to cost 1 egg. And 1 wheat or worm. So we'll spend a worm. Did we already spend the egg? Yeah, no, we're going to take it from the parrot, I think was the plan. Alright, so the stubble quail has a when played ability. Now, when it's played, it was right now because we just played it. So it says discard up to 6 food. Lay an egg on this bird for each food discarded. So the plan here is to discard 6 nectar. Now, all nectar, I'm assuming, is spent. So this is all going to go in the grassland. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put that there. Now we have a nice stack. we lay an egg on the quail for each food discarded, so 6 eggs as well. Alright, now we're going to put this Duet token somewhere. We paid a wheat, and we put it in the grasslands, right? Or no, we paid a worm. So let's just drop it here. Oh, what kind of nest type is this? Enclosure nest. So we can go here for the bonus and get an egg. Let's just do that. And let's put it up here on this fruit dove. Okay, that was a big turn. Let's flip. Discard the tray. Face down card. Yada yada. Refill it. Place a Duet token. Oh, painted bunting could be good for another bonus card. And we also have canvas back. So I kind of like the painted bunting. We could definitely play it. We have the 7 food we need for winter feeder. Let's put this Duet token down real quick. So starting in the upper right corner, we're looking for a food type in the forest. So it's going to be right here. One action left, round 3. I think I'm going to draw cards. And we do have a nectar down here in the selection of food. So let's draw cards. We'll spend this nectar to get a 3rd card. I didn't even see it. So just so we don't lose it, let's take the painted bunting. And then we're going to get 2 from the top of the deck here. So we got Welcome Swallow and Sacred Kingfisher. So Sacred Kingfisher, another pink power, but 0-point bird. So not really too lucrative to be playing at the end of the game, I guess. We'll draw another one from the Plumbus Red Start, which is the Eastern Kingbird. So another pink power. And then we'll give the Automa their 2 cash tokens for drawing a card. Alright, let's flip. We have to refill here. White-faced heron comes out. We're going to lay 3 eggs for the Automa. And then, yeah, that's it. That's round 3. So, scoring the end of round goal. We're looking at, oh wait, we have to do this spent nectar, so let's do this first, and I believe they go this way. Where would the top of that card be? Yeah. I mean, technically, it would be like this, right? Okay, so they're going to lose 1 in both the wetlands and the grasslands and gain 1 in the forest. And then we'll flip 1 more. And then we have lose, gain, gain. Okay. Fair enough. Now we'll remove the round 3 card from the deck. We'll flip this round tracker to round 4, and this is the last round of the game. And I'll shuffle this Automa deck. We'll refill the tray, get the tokens back, do all the steps, do all the things, all the things. We're looking good here. I mean, this was a weird game, but I kind of like this setup. I would like to. We have 5 actions round 4, so I would like to kind of get this painted bunting down. Maybe just lay eggs the rest of the game. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Oh, let's score the round goal real quick. I'm gonna refill the tray. It's a lot of stuff to remember here. Okay, this is the ruby-throated hummingbird. We got Australian zebra finch and the bald eagle for 9 points. That's nice. So scoring the end of round goal, we got Duet tokens on nest types. And we'll look at the automa here. They have 1, 2, 3. And then for black, which is me, we have 1, 2, 3. So it's a tie. So we're going to split the 4 points. We get 2 each. All right, no nectar to discard. We'll get the tokens back for the 5 actions in round 4. So looking at this reed warbler, we could do a double play. Mostly I'm just interested in playing this painted bunting, so let's do that first. Get some eggs opened up, some egg space. Turn 1, round 4, we're going to play painted bunting here in the grasslands. So it's a nice 5-point bird. So it costs 2 eggs. We'll take 2 eggs from the quail. And then it's also a worm and 2 wheat. So we don't have 2 wheat. So we'll use 2 cherries as a wheat. So there's your food. And we paid the eggs from the quail. Okay. Now it says when played, draw 2 bonus cards and keep 1. Let's take a look at these bonus cards, see which one works better for us. All right, we got Passerine Specialist and Pellet Dissector. So Passerine Specialist is going to be birds with wingspans 30 centimeters or less. Now I know we have a bunch of those right now. So we actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 birds. So that would be 6 points. And if we look at Pellet Dissector, it's fish. Sorry, the zoom here is, or the focus here is not too great. I gotta hold the cards still. Yeah, so fish and rat tokens cached on birds, we have none. So we're gonna discard this one and keep this one for 6. Now we'll place our Duet token. We paid the worm wheat. So what I want to do is connect this to get at least the 4 points for a contiguous group, breaking that 3. And then it's back to the automa first turn, round 4. Removing food from the bird feeder and activating pink powers. So the food they're going to take, they're looking for rats, fish, then cherries. So these 2 cherries will come out, which are cherry nectars. Hopefully you can still see the bird feeder here. Stuff's moving around a bit. Okay, we removed the food. Now we do activate pink powers. So we get to lay an egg on a bird with a wingspan less than 30. So let's put it on the chipping sparrow. Don't forget we can go 2 over the limit with that violet cuckoo power. And then we'll take a worm since there is 1 left at the end of the opponent's turn. So we'll get another food there. I want to make sure we have our 7. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on this side, and then we have some cherries over here. We got 3, 4, 5, 6 cherries. So we're good. Let's take action 2. What's just going to give us the most points probably is just laying these eggs, discarding some food. And we're going to have some leftover nectar. I mean, not much you can do about it. I don't think it's going to matter. So let's lay 3 eggs. Here, actually, let's lay 4. I know we're going to fill up, but I don't think it matters. We really want to max out these points. I guess if we run into a situation, we could play this Welcome Swallow. So this has a when played ability to tuck a card from the deck behind each bird in this habitat, including this bird. So that would be a 5-point play, minus the 2 eggs. I guess 6 points minus the 2 eggs, so 4 points. But let's see what this engine does. We got 3 eggs here. We're going to discard one of our cherries to get 4 eggs. And we'll go ahead and fill up this bunting. Or maybe let's leave one off the bunting for the cuckoo. And yeah, we'll put one on the silver eye. We're going to leave him off this parrot. We don't have the nectar now, but we will next turn. So the parrot says to give a nectar from your supply to another player, and if you do, lay 2 eggs on this bird or gain 2 food from the bird feeder. So we didn't, so we cannot do that, but then we're going to gain a nectar anyway from the silver eye. And we'll give 1 to the automa, which will equate to 2 tokens. So we'll just give them 2 cash tokens there. And that's our turn. So we'll flip again for the automa. Round 4, they're playing a bird. So now let's look at the tray. They have anatomist. So it's going to be ruby-throated hummingbird and bald eagle. So the only one that matters is the ruby-throated because they have anatomist. I think bald is not a part. No. And then zebra finch is not, so they'll take this face up for 4. Cool. Alright, let's refill the tray. Place their duet token. That's going to be starting in the top right corner. And we're looking for a food type in the wetlands. So it's going to be this bonus space with the fish here. And that's going to give them a nice contiguous group. Alright, we'll lay eggs again. This time discarding another cherry for 4 eggs. Okay, and we'll start to fill up some of these birds. So this can hold 2, this can hold 2. We don't want to put any on the parrot. We can't put any on the cuckoo. Let's put 1 here and 1 here. And then we'll give a nectar from our supply to another player if you do lay 2 eggs on this bird. So we're going to give a nectar to the automa, meaning they get 2 cash tokens. And we get 2 eggs. And then we can skip the silver eye if we want. But I don't think we're gonna. Because we have 2 actions left here. So let's gain the nectar. Let's give the 2 cash tokens. Flip for the 4th or 3rd turn automa. They're going to discard these birds from the tray. Another face down card for 4 points. And another duet token. So we're nearing the end of the game here. So the duet token is going to be starting in this bottom left corner looking for pink power, which is food in the forest. So this rat is going to be their spot, and they're getting close to connecting some more here. Let's refill. Got ruddy duck, we got eastern screech owl, and brown falcon. All right, what do I want to do? If I lay eggs, let's look at the space we have as far as eggs, because I know I'm going to lay 4. I kind of think the move right now to be to just play some birds. I mean, it would be better to play this welcome swallow up here. But if we do a double play, it actually gives us 4 tucks. So, and we want to get rid of some eggs. So what I'm going to do now is a double play in the wetlands. So we're going to play a bird. So in this column, it's going to cost 1 egg. Now the bird we're playing, I can zoom in on the board here to kind of help out. The bird we're playing is the Australian reed warbler. So this costs 1 worm and 1 egg. So we'll take an egg from the stubble quail. Actually, let's take it from this parrot. And we'll pay the worm. And then what this says is when played, play another bird in your wetlands. Pay its normal cost with a 1 egg discount. So let's play this welcome swallow. And since it's a 1 egg discount, we'll pay a worm, 2 fish as another worm, and 1 egg from the red-winged parrot, since it's a 1 egg discount. And then this also has a when played ability, so it says when played, tuck a card from the deck behind each bird in this habitat, including this bird. So we're going to take 4 cards from the deck here. 4. And we're going to put 1 behind each bird in this habitat. Fun stuff. So that was a nice double play. All in all, it was probably not that great with the egg situation, but what we end up doing now is placing these 2 duet tokens in the wetlands. So that's going to help us, well, not help us with the duet token goal, but they have none in the grasslands, so not really worried about it. The 2 spots we can do are like this because we paid a worm, and then the welcome swallow has a star nest, so we can use this nest type, giving us a huge contiguous group, which is great. And we have 1 action left, so we're going to flip a card for the Automa. They're going to play birds. And we got ruddy duck, we got eastern screech owl, and brown falcon. So again, no anonymous birds here, so they're just going to take a face down card for 4, place their duet token. And this duet token, it looks like it's going to go starting up in this corner, looking for a nest type in the grasslands. So they're placing their first duet token in the grasslands right there. And with our last action, let's count the food here now that we spent some. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 exactly, and a nectar. So I want to keep that 7 food. So we have to kind of be careful here. What we'll do is lay 3 eggs. We can go like this, can hold 5, which is nice. And then we'll give a nectar from our supply to the Automa, which will give them 2 cash. And if we do that, we lay 2 eggs on the parrot. And then what we do is skip the silver eye for the last action of the game. Alright, so all in all, this was a good game. I thought I played this pretty well. We'll flip 1 for the Automa. This is their last action. They're going to be taking birds again. There's none in there, so they're going to get a face down card, and they're going to place a duet token. And then we will do the nectar adjustment and see how we did. Duet token, so we're starting bottom left, looking for a beak pointing left or right in the forest. So there are no spaces left in the forest, beak pointing left or right. So they're not going to place a duet token, which is even better news. Alright, let's adjust the nectar real quick. So we have gaining 1 in the wetlands, and then we have gaining 1 in the grasslands. Okay, that's the nectar adjusted and the end of the game. So we have no game end abilities, but we do have the end of round goal. We won, so we could put our token there for the 5 points, and the Automa gets none. And yeah, so that's it. So that was